Hello everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to my session Post-COVID Agriculture and Food Security Decoding Agri-Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I am Dr. Mamoni Banerjee, Assistant Professor, Rajendra Mishra School of Engineering Entrepreneurship, IIT Kharagpur. We are talking about the post-COVID. Now the question is, what is COVID? It makes 1,000 million people ill throughout the globe. The patients are under ventilation. We are getting regularly the death report throughout the globe. And if you see, the whole globe is under marks. This is novel coronavirus 2019. It is a virus under the family of Coronaviridae. The COVID, Corona and Viridae. Now it looks like crown, that's why it's called Corona. The outer side is enveloped, made up of protein, and inner side is the genetic material, and protein spike is there that attached host cell. It normally attacks the respiratory system and shows symptom mild to severe. Different precautionary measures we are taking, like hand washing, wearing of gloves, wearing of masks, etc. The SARS-CoV was reported in China during 2003, and later the MERS-CoV was reported in Saudi Arabia in 2012. And this novel corona virus reported in China in 2019 and spread throughout the globe. And all of us know that COVID-19 pandemic is a global crisis and may likely have an extensive and long-term influence on agriculture sector domestically and internationally. But during this crisis time also, agriculture got central importance because it is food beyond business, the necessity for survival. Fruits, vegetable, food grain supply have been adequate during outbreak so far. Still, there are threats to food security in the long term. Now the question is why? Farmers are already struggling to do farm activities, trade of perishable due to shortage of workforce for reverse migration. Restriction on transportation and movement of people have already led to some food logistic challenges. Limited market operation made restriction on the availability of food grain and foodstuff adequately. Even the food manufacturers were exempted from the lockdown. The supply of processed food remained relatively normal for the time being, but production may be affected due to manpower crunch and less supply of back-end agriculture produce. Long-term impact would mainly be due to reduction in demand because of economic dip. Now, if we see the general impact of COVID-19 pandemic in agriculture, we have divided this outbreak into two phases, the early phases and later phases. During the time of early phases, all of us aware that there was a huge panic demand from people to store their food for future. The production and supply of agricultural goods and services were not stopped but disrupted, and goods and services were not supplied in adequate quantity to meet this panic demand. But slowly economic units were shut down, people lose job and wages, and demand was slowing down. In addition, because there was lockdown, the people do not venture out to purchase their goods and services. Hence, demand was more slowing down. As far as media report is concerned, there was huge effect in the milk industry or other agricultural industry due to closure of hotel, restaurant, sweet shop, etc. Even poultry industry badly affected due to misinformation, particularly on social media, that chicken are the carrier of COVID-19. Thus, as a result, the overall consumption reduce and overall demand fall. Now, during the later phase of outbreak, the disruption in supply chain continue. Disruption in supply chain affect agricultural sector. Disruption in supply chain because of transportation problem and other issue leads to limited supply of raw material at the farmhouse. Another important point is the labor. Indian agriculture sector depends on labor. And due to this reverse migration, there was a huge impact on agricultural sector. Different activities or several operations like agricultural farming, post-harvest activity, marketing, managing livestock, marine fishing, creation of agricultural infrastructure are mostly handled by the migrant laborer. As an estimated 50 million migrant labor are expected to return to their native places, mainly in East and Northeast from the place of their work, and it has huge impact in agricultural system. Reverse migration made huge interrupt in agricultural activity in Northeast India for harvesting of wheat and mustard and sowing of pulses. As far as demand is concerned, the overall market demand going towards upside since people are venturing out and transportation tends to normalize. Now, coming to the economic important in agriculture. If we see during the early phase of the outbreak, less demand and less supply. And this COVID-19 lockdown is unique in that both demand and supply have fallen during first phase, but price almost remains same. The data published by FAO that retail prices of rice in India in different cities like Mumbai, New Delhi and Patna during the month of March 2020, if we see that price of rice in Mumbai almost same during the month of March, even in Delhi also, but in Patna the price of rice was declined. And if you see during the second phase, the demand rise but less supply during second phase, and price of the commodity mostly leveled or increased but at moderate pace. The data published by FAO, if we see the retail price of rice in India during the month of May 2020, the price of rice was increased in Mumbai, even in New Delhi also, but at moderate pace. Now coming to the makeshift fall in growth rate due to this corona pandemic, and also the impact of this corona pandemic on agricultural production in India. When the crisis began, it was thought that the slowdown would be restricted to China Under such an assumption, the OECD country expected that the growth rate for 2020 would be down by 0.5%. Considering spreading of outbreak out of China, it was estimated that the growth rate of OECD countries would fall from 2.9% in 2019 to 1.5% in 2020. But all those scenarios are now out of date. OECD countries expect negative growth rate in 2020. Even due to this corona pandemic, the Indian economy is also showing poor growth rate. Now, we'll see the impact of coronavirus on agricultural production in India. 10% of farmers could not harvest their crop in the past month, and 60% of those who did harvest reported a yield loss, and majority of the farmers are facing difficulty for next season. In general, storage losses for agri-produce in India accounts for approximately 10% of entire production. As far as export data is concerned, in March 2020, tea export from India fell 33% as compared to March 2019. And all of us know more than 50% population in India depends on agriculture as a main source of income, and it is vulnerable to such crises. So we have to be more careful, and we can learn some lessons from the previous crisis, that Ebola virus disease in West Africa during 2014 and its impact on agriculture. If we see the impact, there was a huge reduction in production and great impact on the food storage, processing, food distribution, transportation, trade, food retailing, etc. Area cultivated decreased along with rural income. Market were closed, supply chain were restricted due to quarantine, sick truck driver, labor close, trade restriction. Additionally, reduced income make unable farmers to hire farm laborer. Collective work was banned in the field, and this had significant impact on food security. The rice price increased by more than 30% and cassava price rose by 150%. Ebola made disruption to agriculture, resulted in approximately $2.2 billion less GDP in South Africa in 2015. Considering this situation and that previous Ebola crisis also, now the question is, can COVID-19 change a global health crisis to global food crisis? We'll go through different global food security indicators and we'll try to analyze. First, the amount of cereal stock globally. If we see at the beginning of 2020 COVID-19 crisis, the cereal stock was about 850 million tons, which was nearly double of 2007-8 crisis. And it was solid buffer against any adverse condition or any adverse shock. Now the question is, the stock is there. What about their liquidity? Is whether they are made available for procurement internationally? A large share of stock was made available to countries like China, United States of America, India, European Union, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, Iran, Thailand, etc. The food price at international market lower since the production was high. Even The exporter of foodstuff played important role in meeting global food need, if not logistic constant or policy intervention, that export restriction and other things. The policymaker also played important role during this 2020 crisis. The input material like fertilizer and other input prices remain stable. On the fiscal side also, government take different measures like moratorium period increase, interest-free loan, hassle-free loan, different scheme to support SMEs, farmer, etc. And another point is economy. Economic dip due to jobless condition may be controlled so that consumers have normal opportunities to procure food and meet their nutritional need on the workplace. And another important thing is the productivity. We have to continuously motivate our farmer to continue their production and also motivate them to invest in agricultural activity. But our Indian farming system is labor intensive and agri-food supply chain also labor intensive. It was little bit disrupted. This disruption should be controlled. Now, if we're going through all the parameter, we'll see the food stock were there. They were made available for procurement globally. The policymaker government played important role during this 2020 crisis. Even that input cost for continue the productivity remains stable. Then we have to manage. If we've been able to manage the 2-3 things, that continuous of production or that agri-food supply chain, we can able to meet food capabilities in terms of volume, and we can easily handle the hunger and the malnutrition. Now the question is, can agri startup can solve these post-COVID challenges in agriculture? If you see, we have 2 or 3 problems, and whether our agri startup can solve these post-COVID challenges in agriculture or not. The farmers in India are struggling to produce more while keeping cost low and margin high. As far as Indian consumer is concerned, they are searching for better product at a lower cost. The right balance between the two is the weakest link in the agricultural value chain, and it may be controlled through the intervention of large scale technologies. So there is a huge scope of innovation. Agri startup has enormous scope of innovation like tech-enabled warehouse management, automation in agri equipment, rapid adoption of IoT, modern agricultural practices with high-end technology like GIS, blockchain, artificial intelligence, remote sensing, data analysis, various Internet of Things device. As far as agri-tech industry growth potential is concerned, as per the NASSCOM's report 2019, India is the house of more than 450 agri-tech startup, growing at a rate of 25 annually. The sector has received more than $248 million in funding, which is a clear indication of the agri-tech industry's growth potential. So there is a huge scope of innovation, and also there is a huge growth potential in agri-tech industry. Now, as far as agri innovation is concerned, there are 3 horizons. One is supply chain, one is marketing innovation, and one other things is the organizational innovation. As far as supply chain innovation is concerned, and since In agriculture, we are dealing with the perishable product. There is a huge scope for startup or agri-innovator to develop tech-enabled warehouse with the help of indigenously developed algorithm. If we've been able to do that, we can easily reduce the post-harvest losses from 10% to 0.5%. The reduction in storage losses from 10% to 0.5% can have huge impact to around 99.5 thousand crore per annum in India alone if replicated across the system. Another important thing is the agri supply chain system. Our agri supply chain system is little bit complicated, and if we see that our farmers, they can get good quality of seed and other farm inputs to farmers' doorstep, they will be more motivated to continue their production. So here also the agri startup, they can come up with some tech-enabled logistics support so the farmers can get good quality of seed and other farm input at farmers' doorstep. As far as marketing innovation is concerned, we can think about the regional e-commerce. What is our farmers' dream? To get high margin. What is our consumers' dream? To get good quality of product in lower price. And here the agri startup can come up with development of different e-commerce platform, and by using that platform, the farmer can sell their product directly to the consumer. So we are talking about the tech-enabled warehouse, we are talking about the tech-enabled logistics support, and we are talking about the tech-enabled e-commerce, regional e-commerce system. So our farmers, they will use all this technology. So here also there is a scope for entrepreneur or agri-innovator to develop some app to train our farmer. Even they can give training on precautionary measure during the precautionary measure to be taken by the farmer during the COVID-19 period, even after COVID-19, like social distancing, use of masks, regular washing of hand, etc. Agri-innovator can innovate automated indigenous portable economic agri-machinery. If we can able to develop the agri-machinery, they are available in the indigenous agri-machineries are available in the market. But if our agri-innovator or startup can develop portable economic agri-machinery, so that can be single-handled by our farmers, and they can easily purchase that machinery since the price of the product is low. Another important thing we have to consider that continuously we have to boost our agricultural production. For that, we can implement different technologies like crop diversification, zero soil tillage, three-dimensional cropping. Even we can think about the GMO technologies also. Development and availability of nanonutrient to boost crop production can be the other option. And we can think about the precision farming method that will pave the way for optimizing cost of production and productivity. Even we have to think about the nutritional aspects also. so we can motivate our farmer to grow more leguminous crop. It will improve the soil health side by side. It will improve the status, or it will take care the nutritional. It will improve, it will fulfill the status of food security and nutrition, or it will improve the status of food security and nutrition. We can think about the aquaculture farming also. Even we can think about the utilization of locally available resources. If we see the migrant laborer, they return mostly through the eastern India or northeastern India, and there is a huge resources are available in this region. The startup, they can effectively utilize these resources and labor for regional innovation through agri-innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, coming to the point that different experts, they suggested to address the impact of COVID-19 on agriculture and food security. First, the robust assessment on the impact of COVID-19 on agriculture and food security. Supporting farmers to continue production and marketing of agriculture produce, deployment of relevant agricultural technologies and digital agricultural solution, accelerate supporting small and medium farmers or small and medium agribusiness, innovation and entrepreneurship in supply chain and market, addressing of COVID-19 impact on agriculture-based livelihood and food security using a gender lens, supporting regional policy dialogue to help countries address the food storage. Now, coming to the robust assessment on the impact of COVID-19 on agriculture and food security. Like more other number of testing for COVID-19 is crucial for public health, so too is measuring its impact on agriculture and food security. Different organizations continuously monitoring the impact of COVID-19 on food security, and also they are continuously monitoring the food price globally. Here also the entrepreneur or startup, they can collect the data using cell phone, social media, even they can collect the data through different financial organization, and even they can collect the data using different cutting edge remote sensing tool combined with machine learning, and they can collect the data for crop monitoring, even forecast the future production, and accordingly they can advise the farmer about their cultivation practices. Even they can tell the farmer about the future price of different crops. Another important thing is the addressing impact through innovation, that supporting farmers to continue production and marketing of agricultural produce. We have to continue support our farmer. We have to continuously motivate our farmer to continue their production and marketing of agricultural produce. Here, the entrepreneur and agri startup can help farmers to adopt safe labor practices, can increase access to personal protective equipment such as masks, gloves that are in high demand due to need in the healthcare system, Since everybody required these masks, gloves, the farmers, they may not have any access of these masks and gloves. The entrepreneur or agri startup can increase this access to personal protective equipment. By doing so, we can easily reduce the spread of COVID-19 and promote continued production of food. Another important, that is the helping farmer to adopt labor saving practices. Even startup can advise them to follow the zero tillage practices, or they can trend the different apps. By using that apps, the farmers can sell their product directly to the consumer, or they can train them different machineries, about different machineries, so the farmers can adopt labor saving practices. The deployment of relevant agricultural technologies and digital agricultural solution. Agricultural technology, especially drone and other digital extension tool and digital agricultural solution, offer a range of important opportunities to address the impact of COVID-19 on agricultural production, labor availability, input supply, and logistics. The China, to address the labor constraint, they are continuously using the drone in their agricultural practice. Even for Indian case also, we can use this drone for supply of that manures and fertilizer, and for spraying of insecticide and pesticide. And our entrepreneur, they can develop the small indigenous drone. Even we can think about the share mechanization service such as Hello Tractor. Our entrepreneur, they can think different business model in this direction. And another important things is the post-harvest cold storage. We have already discussed earlier also the tech-enabled cold storage our entrepreneur can think, can develop, that will be great impact in the storing of food. So the scope of entrepreneurship is design development of cost-effective portable make in India technology product. Another things, disruption to supply chain and market have widespread impact on the food system. Different experts suggested that innovation and entrepreneurship in supply chain and market. We have already discussed about the regional e-commerce platform. Now we will go through the different model followed by different country during this COVID pandemic period. As far as EU model is concerned, they followed community supported agricultural scheme or new direct sale delivery system. The startup, they developed the small startup app, and farmers, they directly sell their product to the consumer through this app. And Norway model is the farmers, they use the Facebook group to sell their product directly to the consumer. The Germany model where the farmers are selling directly to the local shop, and government continuously help farmer to get fair price. The Poland model, a boom in online store run by local farmers offering short food supply chain products. The China, they follow Green Channel initiative, and these are extremely helpful to supply input to farmers and their produce to market. China told farmers to step up vegetable production, open road for delivery truck, and was punishing those trying to profit in order to keep feeding resident of the lockdown city of Wuhan at the center of the new coronavirus outbreak. Here, the scope of entrepreneurship is also huge. Our entrepreneur, they can develop different logistic that platform for the urban consumer or for the rural consumer, and by doing that we can reduce the impact of control measure related to COVID-19 on transport, uh, aggregation and retail system. Accelerate supporting small and medium agribusiness. Small and medium enterprise are the main driver of the world economy, representing an estimated 95% of private sector companies. Agriculture SMEs are extremely vulnerable to shock. As far as Indian government is concerned, they have taken several important initiatives like Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan policy to support SME, agriculture sector, etc. The scope of entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur or agri startup, they can map the agricultural SME based on their location, product line, fiscal deficit, manpower crunch. Mapping of reverse migrated workers, skilled labor and other workforce at local and regional level, and also positioning this similar type of SME, positioning the SME with similar type of private sector, so that private sector, they can give support to the SME for their marketing of their product, or maybe the private sector, they can purchase their input material from their SMEs, or private sector, they can support this SME from their CSR fund. Even making access of fiscal benefit, right, like recovery lending, credit line, grant and other tool would help SMEs. Addressing of COVID-19 impact on agriculture-based livelihood and food security using a gender lens. As far as Indian agriculture is concerned, especially if we talk about our milk revolution, during the time of milk revolution, our women farmer, they played the lead role. If you see the Amul strategy, there are two channels. One is collection chain and another is the supply chain. And all this chain successfully maintained by our women laborer. So if we think about, or if we think about the gender sensitive solution, there may be the scope of doubling workforce. Suggested policy initiative may be the land ownership with women members and award and more incentive for women empowerment, and there may be the scope of doubling workforce. Now, supporting regional policy dialogue to help countries address food shortage. Coherent agricultural policy environment to meet production and food demand with sustainability, collaboration of knowledge generation transfer between public and private sector, policy on transparent dissemination of information, promotion or on regional innovation, better management of agri-food import, export, public-private partnership for integrated agriculture development, to enhance productivity, more benefits, sustainability, etc. were suggested by different experts. As far as Indian government is concerned, during the time of early lockdown, the government of India has announced different schemes like PM Kishan, extension of Narega scheme, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, PM Cares. Even RBI, they also announced the scheme burden of debt servicing, etc. In later stage, the government of India announced the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. The road ahead, the 5 pillars of self-reliant India, talking about the economy, infrastructure, system, demography, and demand. Now coming to the conclusion. It is good, or it is an added advantage that the food stock is there to buffer crisis for the time being. We have to take care about our challenges. Harvesting should be completed. Production for the next season should continue. Agricultural input and produce supply should undisrupted. Make access of fiscal and other government scheme launched during the time of crisis and management of migrant and local human resources. And now the entrepreneur or entrepreneurship can play the vital role. If our entrepreneur, through their entrepreneurial skill, can decode agri-innovation and can solve the post-COVID challenges, the all left side challenges, so we may not see the hunger and malnutrition in India, rather we can see the smiling face of India. These are all references. Thank you. Namaskar. Stay safe and stay healthy. Welcome to this question answer session. First of all, thank you all for your patience. One question, really interesting question, that the scope of innovation and entrepreneurship in a post-COVID era for Indian youth. Really interesting question. Now, if people are saying that people are losing their job and there is an economic dip. Now, if really you have innovative idea and entrepreneurial attitude, this is the right time to start your venture. There are different new opportunities are there. Even as far as agriculture is concerned also, if you see my lecture, I have given different opportunity. So you can use this time and can start your business. Another important thing, that as far as competition is concerned, if you see, since the new opportunities are coming, you may be the leader for that particular area. Really good question, and even you can be the leader for that particular area, even you can give some job to the jobless people, and you can be part of this Make in India program. Another important question, do the changes in the climatic condition due to this pandemic plays any role in the soil quality? There are indirect positive and negative effect. If you see the positive effect, you will see the air quality has been improved. But increased waste and reduction of cycling have negative side effect. But as far as soil quality is concerned, I didn't see any report. Another question, that what kind of nutritive plant can be grown in the Indian field? In my lecture also, I have already told that we have to maintain our nutritional requirement. So we can cultivate, or we can motivate our farmers to cultivate the leguminous crop. Even you can think about cultivation of soybean, pea, chickpea, guar gum, etc. Another question, that someone wants to start a food processing business. He want to know details about this food processing business. Now, if you are entrepreneur or if you are an innovator, you have the good innovative idea to start your business. Just sit with pen and paper and write details about your product features, input material requirement, and the availability of the input material in the market for long run, even the what extra benefit you are going to offer to the customers, that customer will purchase your product. Even map all the competitors and try to identify their weak point. And if you are convinced, and after that you will just do the market research to identify who is your potential customer, what is the present demand, and what would be the future demand, and even you can identify the product diversification, or the customers, what type of products they are expecting, and you can accordingly change your product diversification, accordingly product features also. Then another things, after marketing research, you have to start your business plan, and it is the one of the important and crucial point. You have to write in details about the input things, even future projection, and by analyzing that you will be able to identify that amount required to start your business. And then you have to identify any venture capitalist, or maybe you can apply for grant, or maybe you can apply for loan. Then you have to think about the organizational structure also, that whether you want to go for the partnership company, whether you want to go for the one person company, whether you want to go for the sole proprietorship, or maybe the cooperative, or anything else, that you have to think. And after that you have to think about the business insurance and also the product registration. As far as food processing industry is concerned, you have to take this registration from FSSAI, and you have to take the manufacturing license also. After getting the industry registration, manufacturing registration, product registration, you can start your business. Even you can develop your manufacturing strategy. You can think about the product development. You have to think about the marketing strategy, that the advertisement, delivery channel, etc., etc. Another important question, that is, in my lecture I have already covered, that how COVID-19 outbreak affected agriculture. I have already covered in my lecture that the farmers, they didn't able to harvest the crop. Even there is a huge crop loss. The value chain were disrupted, and there is a huge impact in the animal husbandry sector. Even there is a huge impact in different food sector also. Another question, that what is Hello Tractor? Hello Tractor is one startup. Actually, they connect the tractor owner with small and marginal farmer who need tractor. Even this COVID time also, through the app, they are connecting the big farmer with the small farmer. And another question, how can animal husbandry can survive during uncertainty market due to change of customer behavior? Actually, during this COVID pandemic, the animal husbandry market is badly affected due to misinformation that chicken are the carrier of COVID. And the government of India, they have taken initiative, they formed a task force and started finding the impact of COVID-19 in animal husbandry sector. And even the Poultry Association organized the chicken fair in UP to nullify the rumor. And as far as the changing behavior is concerned, in my lecture also, we are talking about the e-commerce platform, the regional e-commerce platform. Through that, actually, we can solve this problem. The another important question that overcome of crop loss due to lockdown. We have to continue motivate our farmer. We have to continue support our farmer to cultivate continuously to meet up the food demand. For that, what we have to do? We have to maintain our supply chain so that farmers they can get good quality of seed or input material to continue their production, and also they can directly sell their product to the customers. So we have to develop more and more technology driven actually supply chain system. Another question that organic agriculture in rural area, scope of organic agriculture in rural area. Yes, there is a huge scope. There is a huge market in urban area. So the farmers, they can sell their product through e-commerce platform directly to the urban customer. And another question that are you providing certificate? Yes, we are providing certificate. After this completion of all lectures, there will be an online examination, and after that certificate may be given. Thank you all for your patience. Stay safe and stay healthy.